guys, this right here is a brand new Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road, actually with a TRD suspension lift from the factory. It's a very, very capable truck, but what can be a perfect accessory if you want to go camping in the wild? Well, I'm here at Boreas Campers here in Denver, Colorado, and I'm gonna show you the latest trailers or trailer that they have right here, which can match perfectly with your mid-size truck. But to do that, I need Matt, the owner of the company. Matt, thanks for having me over here.
How's it going?
Very good. So can you show me your latest creation?
Yes, so this is our 2021 Boreas XT. This is our teardrop model. We made some big changes for the 2021 model year. It was a full chassis redesign. We brought in Cruisemaster suspension out of Australia. We're the first manufacturer in North America to use that product. We're also using the Cruisemaster Do35 hitch, which is definitely a superior system to anything that's on the market right now. And it has an integrated parking brake, which is just one of those handy things. We changed our chassis design from prior years where you had the XT and the MXT.
Yeah.
So the MXT was for dirt bikes or mountain bikes, and it was a different chassis with a receiver tube up front, but we had to make two different chassis. So this year we streamlined it and we integrated that into every single chassis we make.
All right, so I have some experience with your previous model.
Yeah.
I actually took it from Colorado all the way to Oregon and back, and I think I've been to, I don't know, Utah. It was a cool trailer, but I can see now you've created this kind of, first of all, it's a little bit wider in the front, right?
Correct.
And then there's a little bit more clearance, it appears to be, over here.
That's right. So the Cruisemaster itself ended up raising the trailer about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
So this is our blank, this is what we call a rolling chassis. So it's got the suspension and all the accoutrements installed, and it's ready for us to install the body. So up front here you can see this is a full A-frame tongue to tail. We have this drop angle in for two reasons. One of those is giving you a better alignment and better height between a wider range of tow vehicles.
Okay.
And also it helps with your breakover angle when you're towing in off-road situations. It's a very sturdy design, and it's typically something you don't see in the U.S. Every trailer, it's a box with a tongue on the front.
Yeah.
So we wanted to work on our continuous improvement as a manufacturer and bring this design to the market paired with the Cruisemaster suspension.
What material is this? Is this steel?
Yep. So it's all 1/8 inch tube steel. Everything's laser cut. We weld everything in house, and we produce all through the jig.
And I see you have a 2-inch receiver up front. What is this for?
Correct. Yeah. So we are seeing a lot of popularity in people wanting to carry dirt bikes or mountain bikes and things like that. Carrying them off the rear receiver hitch, it gets in the way of your kitchen. So you've got to get the bikes off to get into the kitchen. So now you have an option to carry up to 3 mountain bikes here. We have a rack that can carry 3, or you can take that system out and put in a dirt bike mount. We just sent a dirt bike trailer out probably 10 minutes before you got here, but it had the full kit on it. Has a ramp and everything like that.
And by the way, before we go to the suspension, this is a parking brake, right?
That's the parking brake.
And it's cool because you could be off kilter parking this trailer somewhere in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yep. I mean, I've been there. I unhooked it and I didn't have the wheels chocked. Luckily, I left the chains rolling, and it snapped the chains. But this is a real easy system here. Just on and off, like so. Yep.
Okay, let's look at the suspension. That's the cool part, right?
Yeah. So this is a really, really high-end system. Cruisemaster is out of Australia. They've been building off-road suspension for 40 years. This system, again, is rated at 3,500 pounds. It has the dual shocks and the coil. You can dial in the ride with it too, so you could take 2 shocks off if you want the softer ride. If you're a person that's putting the rooftop tent on and the dirt bike and all the kids' stuff, then you probably stick with the 2 shocks on each side.
More stable platform,
correct.
Right?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Personally, I run a single shock. I like kind of that softer ride, but we've been really happy with this system and just the relationship with Cruisemaster.
And it's once again an independent system. There's no axle connecting it, right?
Yeah. So our prior system was a swing arm, where this is a trailing arm. So it pivots off the points in front of the axle line. Both systems are great. And again, this was part of our continuous improvement, trying to
Next step.
be the leading edge here in the off-road trailer world.
I also like, you can see here the jacks, right? That's important. 2 jacks?
Yep. And these are big enough that you can actually lift the trailer off the ground, change the tire, and then obviously for leveling and stability when you're sleeping and camping.
Yeah.
It's a tank. It's like, the foundation on your house. That's not where you want to skimp. We've really engineered this thing to be beefy, and we have a lifetime warranty on all our chassis.
I interrupt this video for this week's TFL Bids Bargain. We have some really cool trucks and off-road SUVs for sale at the site, and if you love classic trucks, there's probably none better than this one. It's a 1961 Chevy Apache 10. It has a really cool color combination. It has a straight 6 engine, and Nathan gives us a personal walk around of this truck to show you the exact condition it's in. And use the link in the description below, check it out, bid on it, and don't forget, you can submit your own truck or SUV for sale. Just use the submit link right there and have your truck go to a like-minded enthusiast.
Yeah, up front, big toolbox, lots of storage. This is a demo unit, so it's probably a little dirty.
Well, this is what I want to see, because this is this is how you would use it, right?
Right. Yeah, it's full of dirt and grime and soot from the solo stove. Wheel chocks, a tool bag, and then on the other side, this also houses your battery and your solar charge controller.
And is this optional, or is this kind of comes standard?
Toolbox is standard on every camper.
Okay, gotcha.
The options you have are 2 bike racks on top,
okay,
or you can do a luggage rack like what you'd see on that camper there.
Okay, gotcha. All right, what's next?
Yeah, inside, I'll open up this door and I'll poke my head in the other side.
All right, so this is familiar. When I took a camper, actually a previous model of this, I was using a Ram Rebel to tow it, if you remember.
Yep.
That. So this kind of feels familiar to me a little bit.
Yeah, the overall layout of the camper hasn't changed that much in terms of the cabin. So we still have the Propex furnace running, the Max Air fan overhead, LED dimmable lights and everything on a touch screen here, so you can turn them up, turn them down, whatever the occasion calls for. You got the digital thermostat now from Propex, so you're able to dial in that temp a little bit better. We've made little tweaks all along. Andre, you saw the very second camper ever built is here today.
Yeah.
And there's some serious changes there, but we've updated some latches and things like that.
Okay, but this space is still about the same.
Yeah.
What is this, like about 7 feet long, or?
Yeah, so it's 80 inches. Yeah. So it's that's 6 foot 8.
8.
Yep.
Yeah.
6'8". So it's roomier than you think. We'll have the guys that are at the RV show and they're like, I don't believe you, and they're 6'6", and we're like, well, get in. And
lay down.
I go, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, it's roomy, 4.5-inch memory foam mattress, fully insulated, of course, and again, no wood in this camper whatsoever. This is a laser printed FRP, fiberglass reinforced plastic, so nothing to rot, mold, or degrade over time.
And you still have solar, right?
Yep.
That's part of it. Okay.
Yeah, we run a full ZAMP system now with the 100-watt Obsidian.
Okay, let's go to the kitchen.
Yep. Kind of my favorite part. I wish I had a nice stainless steel kitchen like this in my house. But yeah, everything pulls out. We're running AccuRide slides. They lock in, they lock out, and they're rated to 500 pounds.
Okay.
So you've got your sink here running off a self-priming pump, 30 gallons of fresh water that feeds your hot water shower as well. 2-burner propane stove here, 5,700 BTUs per burner, the little electric igniter, and again, all stainless steel, so nothing to rot, nothing to mold. One of the bigger upgrades that we did back here in the kitchen recently was going to the Truma refrigerator.
Okay.
We switched brands about a year ago, and we've been very impressed with this system. This is their 60-liter, very efficient and very robust. I had one just bouncing around in the back of my truck for an entire summer, and it works like a charm.
Okay. And it's plugged in, obviously.
Yeah, so this runs off the battery and the solar. The whole camper will run on shore power too if you're at a campground, but very efficient system. we're at 14.4 volts. I mean, we're in total float charge here. So
yeah, and it was kind of cloudy.
It's been cloudy and raining all morning. So yeah, it's a very, very efficient system all throughout. And the same thing, LED dimmable lights. You've got the overhead light here.
And some storage up here.
Yeah,
right?
a bunch of storage. So what's nice with the rear kitchen as opposed to like a side kitchen on these teardrops is everything's in reach here. You know, you pull out the sink, you pull out the stove, all your accoutrements are here, right? Okay.
And I've noticed you moved your spare tire to the side. It used to be in the front.
Right. Yeah, so in our older models it was in the front.
Yeah.
But when we combined that dirt bike and standard chassis into one, we needed to move it.
And you have some optional bags over here.
Yeah, so this is actually a new bag system we're kind of playing with. It not available quite yet. It needs some tweaks, but kind of a handy system and good use of space.
What about tire sizes? Are you running a standard size or several, or
no,
whatever?
we just run a standard size. So this is a 285 80 R17.
Okay.
And that ends up being just under a 32 inch.
Okay.
It's also a very narrow tire, so it's only 9.3 wide, which is really important in a lighter teardrop or any trailer like that, because if you're running a big 12.5 inch off-road tire, you're going to hydroplane. Because this thing's only just over 2,000 pounds.
But the way it sits. Yeah.
Yep. And so you want to run a narrow tire. It also keeps your track width in. So we've been happy with that. You can fit a bigger tire in it, but it won't be anything we offer.
So customers that come to you to buy the trailers, right?
Yep.
Tacoma, I'm assuming, is a big part of it, right?
Yeah. Tacoma, the just about the state bird here in Colorado.
Right, it is. But like a small compact to mid-size SUV can tow it, right?
Yes.
About 2,100 pounds, you said, right?
Yep. And you can carry up another 1,500 pounds of gear. So keep that in mind with your tow vehicle. Right. But I mean, our main customers: Tacoma, 4Runner, Jeep.
Wranglers, right?
Yep.
Wranglers can do 3,500 pounds.
You can, yeah. And there's, it depends on the year and the model and all that. But and some of the newer Wranglers are getting even higher. And the diesel Wrangler, we have some customers that.
Or also Gladiators, right? All those things.
We've had some Gladiators now. Yeah.
Where do these start as far as pricing is concerned?
Right. So 2021s were totally sold out. So 2022s go into production in October. That's when we do our model year. Okay. So as you saw today, the fully loaded unit is $34,890. Okay. And that includes the toolbox, the solar, the batteries, the awnings, the roof rack.
And the kitchen, everything.
The kitchen, everything.
And the kitchen sink.
And the kitchen sink, yeah. The only thing you saw here is this thing isn't quite ready for the big debut. But.
Okay. So can you give me a preview of what's happening also here?
Right. So as some of our followers are aware, we are working on a hybrid camper. So it's going to be a system that can sleep 4 people. It'll be a pop-up roof, so you can stand in it. It's going to have a wet bath in it, so it's going to have a toilet and a shower. And it'll sleep 4 adults or 5 with a combination of kids.
Okay, what's the hybrid name about? Can you explain that name? What is that about?
Yeah, the hybrid definition is that kind of in between, right? So it's not the teardrop.
It's not a box trailer.
And it's not your full kind of stick and tin stuff from Camping World, right? Okay. So it's still going to have a lower profile. It's going to be a larger trailer than the teardrop, but it's not going to be this big monster, 30-foot.
And it's also kind of off-road capable in a way, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So this, again, running the Cruisemaster hitch, it'll be, as you can see here, the chassis is very similar to what we're doing on the teardrops. Okay. This will be running the XT system from Cruisemaster, and that'll come standard with the airbag system. I'll set up a demo on that shortly here, and that will have auto level. And then you can also adjust ride. Hey, I'm going to do 50 miles of washboard road. I want to air it down. You type that into the Garmin. You're getting to camp. You want it level. You hit the button on the Garmin, and it'll auto level for you. So we're super excited about that. 50 gallons of fresh water in there. 25 gallons of gray water.
So it's a bigger chassis, a little bit heavier, and obviously more sleeping capacity, of bathroom, all that stuff. Yep,
it'll have heated tanks, so it's 4-season. It'll have on-demand hot water, forced air furnace. It will have options for rooftop AC, so you can do a 110 volt. We also have a source for a 12 volt rooftop AC, so no generator, no plugging in, and it's going to come standard with a whole bunch of solar and lithium. So I'll run through the process here. For demonstration purposes, we do have it hooked up to this system. This is from Cruisemaster. It's a great system, but like I said, we're going to tie it into our Garmin system.
So it's digital, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, so these buttons will raise the camper up and down.
Or independently.
Or
right?
independently. So you can do the left, and then you can do the right. Like so. So that, that's, full, totally full. You'd never really run it at this fully filled up bags, but and then you just deflate that air again to level or get back onto like a trail mode onto your washboard, or if you're getting on pavement. And we'll have multiple systems built in that are pre-calibrated. So if you were to, okay, I'm getting on dirt trails, there's a dirt trail button.
Kind of pre-selected.
Yeah, if I'm going to be doing 200 miles of highway, hit the highway button, and that'll fill and empty bags as needed.
I gotcha. Well, very cool. Can people pre-order the next hybrid trailer already, or how does that work?
Right, so that's the big question. We've had a lot of interest in it, and we're super excited to launch it here in the next probably 30 to 60 days. We'll roll out pricing, we'll roll out our deposit program, and have a schedule built out for people so they know a window of when their camper will be completed.
Very cool. So you saw it here first.
That is true. This is the first debut of this thing out of the shop. So this is the pin for the Do35 from Cruisemaster. So this can go on any standard receiver hitch. You can dial it in for your tow vehicle. You can carry multiples if you're towing, between multiple vehicles or trucks. And then the disconnecting and connecting is really simple. So obviously you need your jack down.
Brake. Set
that parking brake. You pop that cap open and pull that lock back like so. Okay. So then when you lift it up,
and it's also on a gimbal, right? So it's meant for off-roading.
Yeah, so it's a multi-axis coupler. Okay. So I'll kind of, let's see if we can get it high enough, and I'll show you some of the movement. And this is a fully cast iron system, and rated to 7,300 pounds. So you've got this movement here, of course. You've got the pivot on the pin, and then you also have this. So that's a fully multi-axis system. So
and it's quiet too.
It's very quiet. Yeah, and that's a big improvement over a ball, because you can end up binding up a ball hitch. Yeah. You could potentially break it off or pop it off. And if you're doing that, you're already in a tough situation that just got a lot worse. These are also available to sell too. We sell these on our online store. So if you're doing a DIY kit, we can get these for you.
Nice. Dude, it's a really cool aluminum system, huh?
Yeah, so this is from a company called One Up USA. Definitely the best bike rack on the market, made in Wisconsin. And what's nice is you can either do a single, a double, a triple, or a quad.
You can build it up.
You can just add on to it.
Yeah.
You can only get 3 on this, with turning radius. So that's like that. And what I found is having the system that grabs both tires instead of just one off-roading is really important. I've broken some bike racks because it's just grabbing that front tire. But it's a super slick system. As you can see, it pops in and out. You can, it does have a built-in anti-rattle bolt there. But yeah, this is a really popular option, and then you can take a version of these and mount them here.
On the box.
Yeah, so like my trailer of preference is the dirt bike here, and then 2 mountain bikes here.
So as you can tell, if you do have a mid-size truck or even a bigger truck, maybe like a full-sizer, And if you want to go off the grid, this is a great solution. I cannot wait to take one of these out again. I wish I could go into the mountains this second. And as always, go back to tfloffroad.com and tfltruck.com for all the latest news, views, and real world, independent and honest reviews.